Hey, good morning. Yat been a she Joanne Yazapirchi and Shepsina Jenin Shlonkia Ani Bashishin Victoria Gashichedo Nakudene at the Shinele. I don't hear for you all to be here to listen to our concerns. We came here thinking that you guys have buku bucks that we're ready to put all our submission and we'll have it done in no time. So that's our hope. We'll start off. I'm here with my administrative assistant. Our manager is on travel, so here she goes.
Cassie Scott Yanishia sitting on Jenny Nishlan, Kiani Bush's Chin, Twitty Dashiche, as a Travahan Dashinella. We actually had a presentation ready to go, so I don't know if we can get that up and going, but I did email or share it with you, Mr. Patello. So if you, I don't know where we can show it at, but we do have a couple of concerns that we wanted to talk to you about. So I guess we'll just go forward. So what we wanted to do was kind of do an overview of the community. We were a certified chapter in December 30th, 2013. Our demographics, we have about 1,185 registered voters in the Lechee community. Our major highways are 89 and 98. We are a border town to Page, Arizona. We are home to the Antelope Canyons, and we do have about 4 million visitors a year that come to our community. So our biggest issues that we wanted to talk about and bring to attention is road and community safety on N20. N20 does pass through the Lechee community and connects the two major highways. N20, I believe that back in 2003 was paved. It originally was a community road and it was a dirt road. Because 98 had collapsed, they paved N20. So our biggest issues is the road and community safety. The maintenance of N20 has been an issue that our community has been asking the officials to address. Google Maps is one of our biggest downfalls in our community. We had a chapter meeting back in April, and we had Mr. Slim, who's part of the Navajo Nation Department of Public Safety, come, and he had data showing the increase in traffic stops and speeding. And he brought it to the community's attention when he was pulling these tourists coming through N20, how they were getting onto N20. He was inquiring how they got to that road. And so what they were telling the officers was Google Maps was actually routing them through N20 instead of going around to 89 and going around the actual state road. They were routed through N20 through Google Maps. And so when they put in Antelope Canyons or they put in the city of Page, they're being routed on that road. And our speed limit, he said, the speed limit through there is 55 miles an hour, and they're pulling them over at 70 to 80 miles an hour on that road. So that was something that Navajo Police Department had informed the community about. Increase in number of accidents with fatalities, and that was one of the things the police officers wanted to inform the Lechee Chapter community. They are going to start having Sheriff's Department come down and monitor N20. We've had 3 fatalities so far on that road within a month, and so that was a major issue that they wanted to address in the Navajo Nation Police Department and Arizona Public Safety Department of ADOT. Yes, they all are collaborating to figure out how they can decrease the activities. And it's usual. He said this year has been a bad year, and so he said one of the issues when it comes to the accidents is the speeding that happens. All 3 accidents within this past year, from January up until now, have been because of speeding issues. So that's kind of the overview that we have for our community. The accomplishments that we've made, we've tried to look into traffic signs that the chapter can purchase. So we did outreach to the Navajo Nation Department of Transportation and spoke to Orlando Brown, who offered technical assistance. We asked for his help in that. We did outreach to the city of Page. We spoke with their safety director, Kyle Christiansen, who offered a list of vendors for us so we can purchase traffic signs through the chapter. We did secure at least $50,000 worth of funding that we're going to be using through the sales tax, and so we wanted to utilize that for traffic signs. And we actually wanted to purchase 2 traffic signs, one at the beginning of Lechee coming down the hill, and then one coming from Page entering the community. So we hit both sides there. We did, because of the technical assistance and because of the outreach, we actually have pending RFQs with road safety, so they're supposed to get back to us on that. Industrial safety is another vendor that we talked to, and Zoomar.com is another place where we're looking for traffic signs. And what we were requesting for were the signs that you can put lettering on. And so one, it'd be solar power. Second one, we can put words on there. So community event, slow down, community ahead, something to alert these travelers that there is a community in between on the road of N20. But also, when we do our trash pickups or when we do community events, we have to have police presence during that time. I believe we did Page Attacks Trash on April 20th, and in that day, during the time frame from about 8 to 1 o'clock, they pulled over at least 9 or 10 speeders along that road, and we had community members picking up trash on the side of that road. So it was they were very proactive. We had about 3 sheriff's department on that road monitoring it the whole time. So that's something that they wanted us as a chapter to address, and that goes under our community safety concerns. I did have pictures of the locations of where I wanted to show you guys. I don't know if I can bring my laptop up there. Oh, well, actually, no. I did share it with you, Mr. Platero, so you can see the pictures. But I did put on there 2 pinpoints, drop points of where we were trying to put those traffic signs, and then a picture from Google Earth at the beginning of it and then at the end of the community, so you can see where we're talking about. That's mainly the overview and the issues that we've been trying to address as a chapter. I am going to hand it over to Madam President so she can talk about Navajo Route 20. Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to kind of talk a little bit more about the N20 situation as it runs through the community of Lechee. We would like to have wider turning lanes right now at the chapter house. There is turnoff going southbound. However, there is none going northbound. And as you know, at the top of the hill, it goes down. And sometimes you have trucks that can be coming fast. And like I have my livestock in N20, that's where I have sheep camp. So when I'm going home in the evening, it can be scary when you're making a left turn because there's no center. You know how you can pull in there? So everybody just has, hopefully they stop. But sometimes trucks there will get around you. And I think we have had some locals just the next turn off south of there that were hit. So these are issues. So right now, we want wider turning lanes. There are 11 turnoffs along that section. Auto extra lane. We would like, like the middle lane, even for the northbound. So the resolution that we have, we amended the one that we had from 2022, and we wanted to pass this resolution this past Sunday, but we lost quorum, so we adjourned the meeting. So hopefully we can redo this on the 19th to pass it. One of the things that we are asking, it says in the resolution, is that we would like install flashing speed sign, which you will see in our PowerPoint presentation. And then we would like also to get no engine brake sign at the top of the hill at milepost 39.5 going northbound. Because, there's a lot of trucks that use that road now.
And then we would like school bus signs along the road, starting at milepost 39.5 to milepost 32. And right now, I guess it's BIA or somebody, they kind of did a little turnout thing. That's where the buses are going in. So those are, our number one issue here is road signs. Auto, that's what we asked. And then we also, at Mutton Curve, which is at milepost 42, around there, that we have a Saturday, there's some marketplace, which you go on the east side. If you ever come to Page, Arizona on a Saturday, stop by, you can have roasted mutton, whatever that people are selling. Anyhow, going north southbound, if you're going from Page towards, like, say, Flagstaff, wherever, there is no turning lane to go into Mutton Curve, into the marketplace. So that would be a place that needs to have a turning lane. So, and then I know when NDOT hired somebody this to clean out the cattle guards, BIA did. So anyhow, right there at that, and we have a picture of where it's at in the PowerPoint. They left a big old hole, pretty good size, right next to the cattle guard, which because of the traffic there, you could, fall in there. And so you just have to be really careful. I mean, it would be nice if they would have filled a hole, or I don't know how they were going to do it, just because you want water going in there as is. Anyway, no. What else? Like I said, the biggest issue is the safety along N20. There are other things that we wanted to bring up, which we didn't because of how other chapters needed to address their own. Like, I know that they just kind of piggybacking on what we're saying, Coppermine, it's what chapter, there's no northbound turning lanes. And I noticed that by First Windmill, road is starting to ripple again. That's probably a BIA, since I hear they're the maintenance crew. And then there's a hole again there close to the gap. I drove there last night. I wish I had taken a picture of it now. And then the bridge there by the Gap Trading Post, the Gap Chapter House. You can see it's starting to kind of ripple. But our biggest concern is the heavy traffic, especially the trucks. When NGS was being torn down, you should have seen all these big trucks hauling their things going south because they don't want to climb the road on on 89 going up and then going down 89 by the cut. So it's easier to run through Lechee because you really do have one big hill. Once you get there, it's smooth sailing all the way towards the gap. I'm asking all of you to please to look at this. And then the long-term goal, I'm going to put out my wish list, is that we have presented a resolution to ADOT, to their board of directors, back in 2018, 2019, that we would like to see a roundabout put in by Highway 98 and into 22, which is the Antelope Point Road. We did a study with, what is her name, Brown, the young lady Paula Brown, this past fall. And while we're sitting there, they're watching it, and they saw almost a collision there. They really need turning a roundabout there because you have the upper Antelope Canyon on the south side, and you have the lower Antelope Canyon on the north side, and then of course the Antelope Point Marina Road, so a lot of boat traffic. So those are things that we need to look at, and I know NDOT has a lot of money, but just kidding. But we're asking for matching funds in the future So that, and then we are reaching out to ADOT as well, because it is their road and it's close to a scenic route. The scenic byway, isn't that what they call them? Starts right there at the old NGS station going north, no, going east. So that's what we are asking. Our main concern is N20, and the thing about it is a lot of our elders travel that road, and when these tourists, they know there's not a lot of police out there, you could see them going like 100 miles an hour. So when we had the safety meeting with the Sheriff's Department, Navajo PD, the City of Page came, and I'm trying to think who else, and we had it at the Copper Mine Trading, at the Copper Mine Chapter, and Lena Fowler had set that up, and we just did a discussion on how we can work together to make N20 a safer road, especially for our elders. And there are bus routes too. The Page School uses that, Tiba City School District, and then the Gap School there, you know, where they're putting in where another new big hospital is going to go in too. So anyway, yeah, thank you for considering. I heard that these projects we're looking at, what's that? Oh yeah, they're talking about a C-store on, at the into 22 by the roundabout. Navajo Oil and Gas is looking at a travel center once the water for the Western Navajo Water Project gets started, which I hear the project is going to start probably this summer, in the fall. So anyway, so, and we could ask them to be kind of cost share for that roundabout. Any questions?
Thank you, Lechee.
Okay.
Panel?
So what we'll do is we'll go to Mr. Bowman first on highway safety, and then Mr. Peterman on coordinating with BIA on that maintenance thing, and then we'll go to Leanne, and then I'll have a couple of comments.
Yeah, hey, good morning. It's Bowman, my last name's not Brown, so. The statistics is one thing we're working on to develop more thoroughly throughout the Navajo Nation, so that's an ongoing effort, not just with the states, but also with the Navajo Nation internally. And also working with the police department to increase our collaboration and coordination, so, because the police department uses a software called Cody, and they've been using it since January of 2006 to current. Only one of the problems that we're running into with that is there's no crash report form, state crash report form, Arizona, New Mexico, Utah. That's one thing that we're working on, and it's an effort called TRACS. Arizona and New Mexico use that software for crash data or the crash report forms. So that's something we're diligently working on. We did receive some federal funding for that, and we were going to do a pilot with the police department. But because highway safety lost personnel, the effort is going to be rekindled. As for the signs, I think one of the things that we're looking at is all the using billboards as an example. The billboards on the Navajo Nation, I've made a request to economic development, see if we can find out who all owns, where the billboards are placed and who all owns them, and then the impact of these billboards. And then a traffic study, long-term traffic study. Being with highway safety for a little over a month now, I have been doing some research in regards to the traffic safety plans and the data that I'm getting educated on, and then what they call the National Cooperative Highway Research Program, doing more research on that as to why crash data is essential. I mean, common sense is, it is essential, so you can plan for the future. But in terms of federal funding, there is some mandates to try to coordinate with the states to get that type of funding. So we will be reaching out to the chapters. I know one of our employees from Highway Safety was at the N20 meeting, Stella Begay, Program and Project Specialist, and we did provide data, I believe, to you all from 2014 to 2020. And then we did a request from the police department, so I don't know if that was provided at the meeting from 2021 to 2023. So was that provided? No? Yes? Okay. So that's one of the things that I need to be looking at, is communicating more with the counties. But with the assistance of Mr. Patero, we'll be reaching out to the Police Department and Division of Public Safety to address crash data. Yeah.
All right, Joe again. I remember when 89 collapsed and shut down the access to Page to Flagstaff. BIA, Federal Highway, ADOT, they all got together and we looked at making and building N20, paving it, getting that road open just as a detour. The original intention was N20 is supposed to just be a detour until 89. We're thinking 89 is going to take years because of the way it collapsed and the possibility of more and more collapsing out there. The 89 is going to take up to 5-10 years to get back open. So N20 was built as a detour mainly. And today it's still, it's still kind of considered a detour. Now everybody's using it, I understand everybody's still using it, but that was the original intention. So there was no maintenance money built into it. So now we're having every road, as time goes by, maintenance issues come up and patching and washouts and erosion, things like that happen on every road. But yeah, there's a lot of traffic out there, but it was originally intended just to be a detour. I know you've been talking to Sheila Clyde. Sheila Clyde's back there. She works roads department. I know you guys have been talking to her about the solar signs and stuff like that. Kind of, that's a good recommendation. I think Chapter should take the initiative and look at that. You need to get BIA's permission. Number one, N20 is a BIA road, so Big Brother's watching. You need to let Henry Begay, from Tuba. You need to let him know of your intentions. And also my staff, we'll work with you, and help you get them installed. We'll pick a vendor. I think Sheila gave you some vendor names and things like that. So that's good to add signage. There shouldn't be no problem. BIA should be on board and all that.
So after that meeting in Cockamine, the county, Coconino County, has been bringing up, those mobile speed signs, and they were placed in different areas. Henry was there at the meeting, and what's nice about it, people are coming down the hill. Here's the 40 speed limit 40 sign, and if it catches quite a bit where you start to turn around, that light will start flashing. And I tell you what, it's been doing a good job of getting people to slow down.
Yes, that's
how it's proof that it can work.
we use those. They're put everywhere. Solar flashing lights, stop signs, and like that are put in different places on the res. Everywhere, it's used everywhere. But yeah, that's a good idea. Slow down, 45 mile an hour. Solar, they're affordable. They're easy to install. I really agree that should be done in all along the route, even in the other chapter areas. You mentioned Antelope Canyon. I've been working with Parks and Rec. They're trying to fix that turnout into the canyon, but Hayu and Asaza, all right there from where you're talking about roundabout, all the way up. Hayu and Asaza, they can't even do anything there. So we're really stuck right there with Antelope Canyon. We can't do anything. They keep moving up, come back this way, and trying to go this, nothing's working, all that's out there. So we're, with Jones and DeMille, we're stuck still in planning mode on Antelope Canyon, okay?
How would they build that into 22? All that now, so
Many years ago, it was different many years ago. You just go build a road, get in there and get out. But today, these days, you have all these archaeological clearance, biological clearance. 6720 doesn't have any of that. If we're going to build a detour around it, you got to get all those clearances in place. You know, out here, there's these used to be uranium mines. Now you got to consider that too, going around the uranium mine and all that. But these days, all that has to be taken into consideration. You know, it's our heritage, right? It's our past, our history, the Anasazi. So it's very important, should be important to all of us here. Okay? 6210, we looked at 6210, a long time ago. It goes from N20, and then if you stay on it, you come out at 89. We look at opening that all the way, but there's just no funding available for that. But we considered that, making it a crossing all the way. I talked to the chapter before, and they were supposed to get hold of planning section and try to do resolution and all with that, but I don't know where that went. That was many years ago. And then 6720, Coconino County passed a public law, many years ago, 10 years ago. Public Law 538, where they will do blading, earth blading on Navajo routes, and then they have some matching funds for construction, for, well, heavy maintenance. We don't call it construction, we call it heavy maintenance. Because you get into construction, it's a whole different ballgame. But with that public law, they were blading 6720, but now it turned out part of 6720 is on Hopi land. So that money was intended for Navajo only, so Coconino had to pull out. Okay, that's why they don't blade that, but our roads department, we sneak over there at midnight and we blade it through Hopi just to keep it open. Okay? Somebody mentioned Google Map. One time I was on 6730 way up there by Cameron, and there was a Lexus out there with flat tire and California plates, and these Bilicanas that didn't even know how to change a flat tire were out there. And, what are you doing out here in the middle of nowhere? And they'd say, yeah, Google Map. So, you know, it's out there too. These truckers, they use Google Map and they find N20, and that's, you know, that's all out there. That's our world these days. There you.
One of the things, really coordinate with planning, because they're the ones that work with NACOG, which controls the funding for ADOT around the Arizona routes, okay? So that I would really suggest that you get involved with them. They usually have their NACOG, Northern Arizona Council of Government. All of ADOT's planning stuff is routed through them. So they have a big voice in what projects get funded. So I would make sure that you have a representative on that. We're trying to get the same thing here. One of the things, the other chapters that wanted to develop paved roads, this is what happens when you get a paved road. Way back when I was there, the DOT the first time, was one of those soil stabilizers was put in Crystal community. It was a test that they did, and the first thing that they heard was, everybody just speeds through there now, but they don't know, they don't slow down. So when you're wanting to get these roads, remember there comes a certain amount of traffic with it. I remember that in 20, when it first happened, the community was like, we have all these partiers out here now. We have trash. These guys don't know how to slow it down. So to remember that when you develop and you get roads paved, that's what comes with it. The other part of it is the traffic count in 2019 for that road was 1,864 a day. It's probably higher. We had a meeting in Holbrook with Navajo County on Monday. We came around Flagstaff and we took 89 up. We have a souvenir from that road. One of those trucks went by. my Tri-B has a big old windshield thing in there now, because of one of those trucks. We came around the one that it's like they carved it out in the road right in there. There's nowhere to go, and that truck came around, big old thing on my Tri-B window. So you guys owe me a windshield. No, but I think there's a lot that we can partner up with you on. It's just that we got to get the right resources in the room with you. But I think there's a lot that we can do, you know, and our section will be here to work with you. And it's Mr. Bowman, Mr. Brown, so appreciate it. Let's take a little bit of a break, and then we'll get back on. I believe there's refreshments here. Stop by our transit booth and get some transit information.